Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Crash Team Racing. And tonight, we are in the Snow Zone. Even though it's not called the Snow Zone, it's called Glacier Park. But I'm going to call it the Snow Zone, because I already did that. And we're going to go in here as it is the last place left in our quest of getting relics. At least for this area. We'll move on to the next area after that, but... Oh no, it's happening again. I don't know why I keep coughing. It's so weird. Like, I'm not sick. Like, I'm still a little nasally, but, like, the coughing is something that only came up within the last, like, couple hours. And it's, I don't know. Like, it has nothing, it's just like, it's like my lungs are irritated or something, but I don't feel sick at all. Like, usually whenever I start developing the cough, like, I generally actually feel ill, but I don't have that feeling at all. It is just mind-boggling. I don't know, maybe I'm just like one step closer to being admitted into the loony bin or something. Maybe I'm just slowly starting to detach from sanity altogether. And it's either that or maybe it's all the fucking cottonwood that's been flying around my my place of business today. It looked like, dude, it looked like it was fucking snowing out there. Like, that's how bad it was. So those cottonwood trees are just fucking assholes. There's one that's right across. There's like a whole pack of them that are right across this over by the Sizzler restaurant from where I'm working. And dude, like when it gets really bad in allergy season, when that thing really kicks in, it looks like winter over there. It just like that, the cottonwood stuff just falls out of that thing like the end of the world is happening. And dude, I'm so glad that I'm not allergic to that stuff, because that would be so awful to have to put up with it. But I don't have allergies really to anything, so that's totally awesome. But I feel really bad for anybody that deals with it. Oh, come on, really? I somehow went over that? How the hell did that happen? That was weird. Oh well, we're good. We're doing pretty well, I would say. We're on track, which is actually a fairly decent delivery service. But yeah, so I'm hanging in. But I've had just like my lungs have been like irritated all day, just in general. Probably from breathing a lot of that in. Like, I don't have allergies to it, but I would imagine breathing in little patches of cotton all day probably would be pretty irritating to just about anybody. So that is no good. I've had just kind of like this little tickle thing going on there. But you know, I've had more interesting things happening in my day than that, dude. I gotta tell you guys this story. It's so fucked up, but so awesome that I was able to catch it the way that I caught it, because it could have been some buttery like toasted bullshit had I missed it. So here's the story, and you guys can revel in anger along with me on this one, just because you'll understand. You're like, as soon as I tell this to you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's totally fucked up, man. That guy needs to probably lose his job over this. So imagine, if you will. So my dad's been having a lot of issues with his laptop as of late. Or actually, not as of late. It's been a pretty long time. But my dad's not really the most computer savvy guy, and so for whatever reason, and I can't fault him for it, you know. He decided to pay somebody to fix his laptop for him, and I don't know who it was, some service somewhere, and you know, they were gonna go through his computer and they were gonna look up, you know, see what was going on, and they were gonna diagnose it and try to, you know, fix up the problem for a fee that's probably way too high, but I didn't look into that. So anyway, we won't worry about that. I'll keep that one piece of boiling anger out of my system, because I don't want to know how much you paid for it. But so these guys did what pretty much any of those types of people do. They kind of, he had his laptop set up at the office at work, and they did kind of like the remote control takeover thing, where, you know, they can just seize control of his computer and kind of do things from their center of operation in fucking like Cincinnati, Ohio, or wherever the hell it was. I don't even know. So I was at work, just kind of working out in the front area, and I kind of sauntered into the office while he was on the phone with somebody, and I kind of saw, you know, that because I didn't know they were actually doing it today, and so I had seen that, you know, everything was kind of being done remotely, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's always kind of interesting to watch those types of like technician people at work when they're using remote control software like that. And so I don't know, I always found it kind of interesting to watch it. And so I decided for a moment I was going to watch this guy kind of do some of his work and see what it was he was doing. Oh, we got a gold! Tide! We got a gold one! By a sizable margin, too. And we didn't, there were a few boxes that I totally missed. Like, I wasn't even close in getting them. That was awesome! Totally submerged in the goo. Oh, that was great. And yet his cart was totally able to power through that. Man, I can't drive through a puddle that goes like a third of the way up my car without it starting to flood. Man, what kind of technology are they using for that thing? And that's all exposed parts too. That's great. You know, Crash Bandicoot, where all the best technology is, where you can make a fucking fruit cannon. Fantastic. So, anywho, let's go head off to the next area. By the way,
You earned a relic.
damn right I did. My token trophy for the case there. So let's go to Citadel City now. I don't know where to go for that, though. I kind of forgot which one of these it is, so I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's probably this one. That's probably a fair assumption as to where we're going. Are we here? I think we're here. This is the right one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, so we got 4 more relics to get, and then it looks like we're probably going to have to deal with this stuff again. God, I'm going to have to do that damn race with Pinstripe again. I don't want to. I truly... Oh, I can't. I can't even do it. Ah, shit. Well, that sucks. I guess I haven't actually addressed the boss fight yet, so that actually makes perfect sense. We should probably turn around. So, anywho, so what was happening was, let me get out of this area first, then we'll talk again. My brain's getting kind of scattered in multiple places here. So we'll just go back in here. I don't know if I really want to have to drive all the way to the beginning area. We'll just jump into a race so we can start moving. So that means we gotta do these CTR token ones. Dude, these things are hard. If I remember right, these things are hard. Like you gotta do the regular race, but you have to you have to find the letters C, T, and R on the track somewhere, which usually means that one of them is hidden in some type of shortcut that you didn't notice during the regular race. And that's gonna suck. It's already hard enough to win races sometimes, let alone trying to go out of your way to collect weird-ass floating tokens that are around. So, yeah, great. Wonderful. So, anywho, outside of that whole thing, so I see the guy doing his work, and my dad left the room for a minute, and so I was like, well, you know, there's nobody in the store, so I guess I'm just gonna watch him for a minute. And as I'm watching him, I noticed that he oh boy, where's the T? I didn't see the T anywhere. All right, I'm assuming these things are also placed in order. I can't imagine they'd put the C and then the R and then the T somewhere else. That wouldn't make any damn sense. So we'll roll with it. So, oh boy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at that move. So I noticed that this guy, in the midst of this, he opened up my dad's email stuff. Oh no, there's the T right there. Why would they do that? Oh, and I missed it. Why would they put the letters out of order? That's really strange to me. I mean, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do. I guess it's Crash Racing Team, which would imply we're playing in teams. Instead, I mean, it's not really Crash Team Racing either. I mean, we're definitely racing alone. We don't have a partner in this at all. But whatever. Okay, so back to the story before I get sidetracked again. So I noticed that he opened up my dad's email folder and opened up a blank email and addressed it to their support thing, and I was like, that's interesting. What's he doing? And as I'm watching this further, he starts typing out an email on my dad's behalf. You know, saying something to the effect, oh god, wow. Saying something to the effect of, hey, you know, I authorized the payment of X amount of dollars and X amount of whatever, and I just wanted to thank you guys for your hard work, and this is the one that got me. He's like, I just want to thank you guys for your hard work, and I assure you that I will not file a dispute in the event that the work performed does not fix the problem. And then he's like, thanks a lot, guys, blah, 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 blah. And then he signed it under my dad's name. And as this was happening, I went and grabbed my dad. I was like, hey, were they supposed to authorize a payment under your name like that? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, you need to look at this real quick then. And so I brought him back into the office, and we sat there and we watched him type out, like, about 3/4 of that email. We're sitting here watching it, progressively getting more concerned, like, what is this person doing right now? I'm almost positive you are not allowed to do that. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that you're going to want to contact these guys when this is all said and done, like, as I am almost positive that what they're doing right now is very, very illegal. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be talking to them in about 30 minutes when the guy calls back to let me know what what's been going on. And so I was like, yeah, you might want to do that, because I'm pretty sure that is not cool. They're basically saying, we did this work, but if we did it wrong, we're basically covering up our own ass by falsifying an email under your name, saying that you can't take action against us for that. And that is so messed up. That is so fucking messed up. I couldn't believe that dude had the audacity to think that just because, we like my dad and I were on the job, and that we were dealing with other people, that nobody was gonna see that. It's so jacked up. And so my dad's like, well, you know what? And you could visibly see he was pissed off. He was like, he started getting kind of flushed in the face a little bit. He's like, look, you know what? He's like, I gotta go run a couple errands, and I gotta go run back to the house to get some lunch. And he's like, and then we'll take care of it after that. He comes back later, and I was like, hey, how'd your lunch go? He's like, oh, it's fine. I was like, while you were gone, I kind of kept an eye out, because that guy was still doing work after that. Like, obviously he's still, like, it's like, that was the only weird thing he did the whole time, because, like, everything else he was doing was totally normal. Like, he was installing virus software, and he was, looking into all these other things, and, like, he was actually doing real repairs. It's just that one weird thing with the email was so bizarre. It didn't make any sense. But everything else he was doing was fine. And so I was still, but after that happened, I was like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy just to make sure he's not, trying to pull any funny business or whatever. And so I sat back there for a while and kept watching him go. And after a while, he kind of just, he stopped working on it for a little bit. I don't know whether he was taking a break or what have you. But anywho, so I was trying to see if my dad was in a cool mood after that, and I was like, hey, how'd your lunch go? Everything go over pretty well? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, I talked to that guy, by the way, and I was like, oh damn, because I wanted to be on the phone so bad. I just wanted to be kind of like a fly on the wall for that conversation, just to hear how my dad was going to take it. And how he was going to, like, call him out for it, and see if the guy was going to try to cover his own ass and, like, deny it all the way, so that I could be like, oh no, we totally watched you do this, and, if I had a mind for it, I'd totally notify the authorities that you tried to, steal my identity while I was watching you do it. But he's like, yeah, I talked to the guy, and I was like, oh my god, how did that go? He's like, fairly well, actually. Like, I brought up the whole thing about him doing that, and this is the thing that really pissed me off about it. So he's like, so I don't know why you decided to do it, but we noticed that at one point you overtook my email and started sending a message to your support group under my name, authorizing all these things that you did not have my permission for. And the guy seriously said that is standard protocol that they do that. He's like, no, that is not standard protocol. That is against the law, and that is not okay. He's like, you cannot do that without my permission. So do not do it again, or I will not pay you. and I will notify the authorities. And like the guy after that, like after he brought it up, he totally owned up to it. He's like, okay, sir, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I will delete the email and all this stuff. But it kind of makes you wonder, how many other people had they done that to? How many other people had they done that to that never noticed that they did it? That's the interesting thing. It's a very intriguing kind of set of parameters there, because I mean, nobody. I don't know. It's a very weird thing to me, but I mean, my dad's laptop is up and running. It's working fine now, so it's not like, you know, the guy after we caught him doing it decided to try anything else crazy, like installing some sort of really bad, like, you know, piece of malware or something out of spite or anything like that. So, I mean, it was cool that, you know, at least he did his job. It's just that was such a weird scenario altogether. But that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Like, I've been on computers plenty of times where somebody was doing like remote control work like that, and nobody did anything crazy. But I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Such a strange thing, though. It was so interesting to watch that whole scenario unfold in front of my very eyes. Like, what the hell is happening? So yeah, dude, that was my interesting piece of stuff that happened today. Oh god, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be close. I wish that they'd have, like, on the map. I wish they'd have somewhere on the map that shows where the starting line is. That way you kind of have a little bit of an idea, like, how far away you are. Like, that's... Hey, I hate to make a Mario Kart comparison there, but that is one thing that Mario Kart always did, is they always made sure that on the track somewhere you knew where the starting line was, so that you didn't always have to rely on, like, your memory to be like, oh my god, I don't know where the starting line is, you know. But hey, we're actually doing pretty well right now. I did not expect that we'd get 2 CTR tokens right off the bat like that. So yeah. And actually, you know what? We actually had a pretty standard length episode out of that. We actually got a lot of stuff done. That's impressive. Good freaking times, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is how we're gonna do things, because obviously we're getting to the point where we're really gonna have to address the whole disc thing here soon. So what we're going to do over the next, I'm going to assume probably the next 2 episodes, is we're going to get the last 2 CTR coins in here, and then we're going to go back to the Lost Ruins. We didn't do any of those. We got to go do those. Okay, so we've got to get all the relics in there, and then we got to get all the CTR tokens there, and then Insanity Beach, we got to get all the CTR tokens there. So with all of those things out of the way, then we can go do the real deal Evander Holyfield with only about 80% of his ear, because Mike Tyson was hungry that particular evening. And that'll be that. So until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.